Hello, everybody. You hear me all right? How we doing this Tuesday morning? Hope everyone's gotten their coffee in hand. Hello, Dino Pulse. Hello, Spees. Sarah Knight, MXA. Hello, hello, hello. Audio, video are great. Nice, nice. Yeah, I actually don't know that I have any specific things today in terms of like trailers or emails or anything. I still have to look through my emails. Um, so we will see what we will get to. A bit of a weird week. I do have a schedule graphic because I ended up realizing I have to make one for Twitch regardless, or it'll just be out of date. But it's a little thin and it's totally up in the air. Let's throw this in here. So yeah, today, right now we're doing this hangout, and then Tuesday. Oh yeah, yeah. So we were gonna do the watch party, but we've got some COVID going around. So we got Huber and Don are both out. I think so far the rest of us have tested negative. And then Damiani was already planning to be out for some vacation time. I don't know exactly. I have an idea of where he might be, but I'm not for sure. So yeah. Um, but yeah, Huber's definitely had the worst year, worst few years, but this year in particular has been pretty bad. Don is also sick, Dino Pulse. But yeah, so it's a weird thin week. We're trying to schedule things around. Today's gonna be remote just because some of us needed to wait till the day to get tested. Um, and so we're gonna do turbo golf racing and maybe something else if that doesn't last for 2 hours. But that'll be our group stream tonight for those of us that can be there. And then yeah, and then frame trap. We're shooting frame trap today. I'm doing all right. I tested negative this morning. I've had no symptoms. All good. I was up late working on Huber's review, which he wrote anyways, despite being sick. Um, and so that review, we're aiming to get it done on time for tomorrow. But if it goes a little bit later, it goes a little bit later. Um, we've been checking it on Huber. We're good there. Don't worry. Don't worry too much about Huber. Send him your love, but don't worry. Um, but is it just Damiani that hasn't gotten COVID yet? I don't know. I haven't kept track of who's actually ever been hit at some point or another. But yeah, Hosanto 57. But yeah, but so between now and group stream though, I'm gonna be shooting a couple things with Brad. We're gonna shoot a frame trap episode remote. I'm gonna shoot a preview remote. Um, I'm bringing the Splatoon 3 Splatfest. I played some Frogon this weekend, and I played a little bit of RPG Time: The Legend of Bright. I wanted to put some more time into it, but I might not get to before we shoot. I have not gotten back to Soul Hackers for about a week or so, um, just because I've been hitting up all these previews and other things going on. So yeah, um, but I may play more of it. At this point, I'm thinking that the review is probably not going to be a thing that I do, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, story time with Gabe. I did laugh at your and Ilis quote tweets to Huber for making it sound like you demanded he finish his work even when sick. Yeah, I mean he should probably go to bed. If you're unhappy with the situation enough to complain about it on Twitter, then you probably are unwell enough to be working, right? But anyways, I've done it. I did a Crisis 2 review. I was sick as a dog at a hotel event, just just burning through that game while sick in San Francisco. And I went down for multiplayer sessions and all that because I mean that's what we did. Did I play the Splatoon 3 demo this past weekend? Yeah, you'll get those frame trap impressions. I played that for 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Recorded 27 clips, which I don't know. I don't know if those are going to make it in the frame trap this week or not. But was anyone easy going to check out the Pac-Man World Repack? I don't know that we are. Like, hang on, I got a package. I don't know if anyone is actually into it, but we got stuff. Here so we got PS4 copy and a PS5 copy, and we got this sick thing, which is like it's like a Pac-Man Gundam. It's crazy. It like the things shoot. You shoot the boxing gloves. Those shoot out. Apparently, you can stick the gloves on the end of the arms, and those shoot out. It can also transform into a vehicle. But look at this. Look at this. Oh, hang on. Pac-Man sits up in there. Let me see if I can get this without the glare. Glare's killing me. There we go. Whee! So anyways, it's a crazy little thing. So that'll be hanging out in the studio somewhere. Casey87 resub, Asian Chunky resub. Thank you. Physical copies, physical PS5 game. Whoa. My friend was messaging me last night about Pac-Man and thinks the devs were on drugs for Pac-Man World in particular, or just the original. And also, I don't know what context there is for this Pac-Man mech thing. Like, Pac-Man has he driven a mech in one of these world games? I haven't played either of the world games, so I'm a little confused. But yeah, so Frame Trap, a preview. I've got 2 more previews going up this week. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, I have 2 more previews this week. Huber's working on the review for The Last of Us. We've got a Last of Us spoiler mode. Are we gonna do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection review? No, because that's a Huber joint, and the intent there was group stream tonight. We were gonna play that together. Huber didn't even want to crack it open until we played together. And then there it is. Friday spoiler mode, isn't that too early? The game's out. It will be out. And it's a remake. So I think, yeah. We're doing it around noon. I think it's fine. Some people may not be finished yet, but it'll be there when you are. The best piece of swag we've received along with a review copy of the game. Well, Bulletstorm sent a package of rotting meat mixed with bullets and hair. So that might take the cake. That might be the most memorable. I don't know what you mean by best, but yeah. We've also had they weren't really coming with the game, but like Tomb Raider sent us like the full life-size Lara Croft statue back in the day. Fallout sent us the full like Brotherhood of Steel statue, which from what I heard from Megan after game trailers left, schedule's still up, sure. Yeah, we can take that off. After game trailers left Viacom and Megan and some of the other people were there, Bobby was still there. Oh, so what had happened? Okay, right. So we had the original elevator when we got that thing was like a freight elevator. It was a big old tall elevator. And then at some point they had done some renovations. They had replaced the elevator, but the elevator was now just like a regular office elevator. And so the Brotherhood of Steel statue could not fit in the elevator to exit the building. So I guess they had to like cut it up to get it out somehow. Like I craziness. When yeah, after Game Trailers had left. It's insane. And then somebody had taken the Tomb Raider one. Um I forget who. I thought it was Dawn, but maybe it wasn't. I thought Dawn had taken that Tomb Raider statue at one point, but it might have been John Finger or somebody else. It probably wasn't John Finger. I don't know who had it. But yeah, Viacom's not even in those buildings anymore. Viacom's now in Hollywood. Was the Brotherhood of Steel statue for Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas? I am pretty sure it was Fallout 3. But it could have been New Vegas. I'm pretty sure it was 3. Yeah. I was on Team Rock for Splatoon 3. I jumped in there, I had stuff going on in the morning, talking with Hugh, talking with Don, and all of that. And so I got in halfway through, and like they'd already had the halftime, and like Team Scissors is ahead. I was like, oh crap! So I'll go with Rock, and then like we just annihilated Scissors by the end. So I wonder if a lot of people had that happen. Lucky me, I'm the one that made them win. What do you mean? I contributed. I got wins. I'm actually not sure how some of that stuff adds up because like we got one of those 100 times things and like so much clout. Anyways, we're spoiling Frame Trap now. But what's on Game Pass? RF Switch was on Team Paper and won every tricolor match. Nice. Yeah, it's funny because Splatfests always tend to happen at times that I can't participate. So just participating is a pleasure. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of Splatfests over the years. Did I see Nintendo 1 million sales stuff? Oh, there's like 55 games that have sold over 1 million. Yeah, I saw a bit of that, just like at a glance. Saw that fly by my feed. Disney Dreamlight Valley Early Access. Yes, we're going to be pulling in Brandon Jones as a guest speaker for that one. But they weren't giving it out before Early Access. So like Early Access is when everyone gets to start. Or at least that's what I've been told. Maybe there'll be a few people that, like IGN and GameSpot, that got in earlier. Tinykin I've got, but I didn't get it in time to do Frame Trap or anything else. I probably would have done that instead of something else. And then Immortality, Isla's been playing. May do a stream of, or an easy update or something for that. Any word on Damiano's Xenoblade 3 review? Yeah, he's working on it. Obviously, now that he's out, it's going to be a little bit more of a delay. But he smartly did not like crunch and marathon himself. So I realize that means that there's more time, before the review is out. But it means that he's able to enjoy himself more and not be just, make himself sick or anything like that. You can't really marathon a 140-hour game. So, but yeah, so the process has actually been going pretty well. And he's looking to do a spoiler mode with some other people that have finished it too. So, it will be a little bit, but we're getting there. It's gonna happen. I don't know how much time he's put in. I've seen 140 hours floating around for people that have finished it. But yeah, Damian is on vacation as of today, so he'll be out the rest of this week. So the podcast is going to be weird too, because we've got so many people out. So we'll have to figure out logistically what it looks like, but it'll basically be me, Isla, and Brad on the podcast. Will there ever be a time when EZA is taken off the Nintendo blacklist? We're more on the light gray or polka dot list. We get everything. They send us everything. We're not on a blacklist at all. They've been dealing with that limited inventory issue for like 5 years. So we don't get them. They only get so many that they give out before embargo, um, which has not fallen in our favor most of the time. Xenoblade used to be one of the things that we'd get, but I think now it's just gotten too popular. Life advice for someone who's just started their 30s. I've never really looked at things that way too much, so I don't know. Um, save for retirement if you've got it, if you've got the opportunity, because you might not even know what happens, in the next couple of years. So you might have a few years where you can't. So get that savings in. Devolver tweeted they're announcing a game this week. Yeah, that's always fun. You can't guess though. That's the thing. The speculation on the Devolver game is just kind of dead. It could be anything. Find some random developer out there. Some guy that hasn't made a game in 20 years. Devolver's new announcement. But yeah, the podcast, it could be me and Brad on the desk with Isla in the booth. Could be all three of us in the desk with a static shot. Could potentially have Gabby on the switcher if she's comfortable with that. So we'll have to see what the logistics of that look like. But yeah, what else is happening? Chat, do you want a low key announcement before the announcement? I'm a little nervous to talk about this, but I'm gonna be posting it right after the stream, so I might as well. Um, for patrons, world premiere. Yeah. Um, we are about to. It's probably not a big deal, but it's some people that might see it as a big deal. We're gonna shake up a little bit. Even that sounds like too much. Anyways, we're changing what we're doing with exclusives on Patreon. So basically, um, some of the shows that we've been doing exclusively will not be exclusive anymore. And instead, we're going to focus on doing extended cuts. So essentially, patrons will get the uncut version of like Trash Babies and Achieve It Yourself at the $5 tier. And then spoiler modes will be public, but we're going to do these extra spoiler modes for like we're calling them spoiler mode retro just because we don't have a good name, and they don't really need a good name because they're a bonus anyways. But like Silent Hill 3, stuff that we already know kind of well or that we can play through quickly or whatever, will be like about once a month. I don't think we're gonna promise once a month, but that'll be essentially the timing that we're gonna shoot for. So yeah. So basically, to kind of run down the list, I've got a post that I'm gonna put up after this, and then I've got um, a list in here. So new release spoiler modes, so like The Last of Us this weekend and movies and stuff like that that just came out. Those are gonna be completely public. Spoiler mode retro will be at the $1 tier. Fast and Loose is going to stay at the $1 tier because we don't really think like that's totally a for patrons kind of thing. So that we're not too worried about that. That definitely feels like a good, worthwhile bonus for patrons. And then Trash Babies and Achieve It Yourself, and anything else like that we might do in the future will be public, but then an extended cut at the $5 tier. And then I've got to go through and like make sure all of that stuff is correct on the website and all that fun thing. Older content is where things get a little weird because it doesn't make sense to post old stuff. Spoiler modes are just way out of date, and they might have people in them that aren't here anymore. We don't want to post old shots of Brandon's old garage. So all that stuff is just weird. So we're gonna take the spoiler modes that were at $5 down to $1, and then that'll just be kind of where those live. And then but in the future, new spoiler modes will be public. But but yeah, yeah, and Spectrum is asking this too. It's like releasing them at a later date is just not a thing that makes sense for spoiler notes. It's like you put them out there when people are looking for them, and yes, people will search later, and that'll keep going as we've seen with the Final Fantasy VII ones. But yeah, if you know, like what, like say if we put out like the Doctor Strange spoiler mode right now, it's just sort of like why, why did you just put this up? You know, so so there it is. There's your pre-announcement. I will have a detailed post. It's already written. I just have to put it on Patreon and then do all the logistics stuffs for Patreon and make sure the tiers are saying the correct things and all that. And that the $5 posts are updated to $1 and the website's all back up to date. Fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, give me your reactions because this is one of the hardest things is figuring out what are people considering a reward, what are people feeling is being held back, and just like you know, it's so difficult to sort of wrap your head around worthwhile Patreon content. Um, and Bennett just pledged $5 on Patreon. Thank you, Bennett. So yeah, always a conundrum. And with spoiler modes in particular, it's been hard to kind of pull the trigger because the yeah, and we have the extended love and respect for the podcast, so I think it sort of makes sense to do extended editions. But spoiler modes has always been hard because yes, there's so much um, hype and zeitgeist around those things, but at the same time, like that's why they worked, right? That's why they um, actually made sense because it's something people wanted, so something people would pay for, and was something we would see a bump from whenever the big spoiler modes would go up. The smaller things wouldn't, we wouldn't see as much from like a Cobra Kai or something. But you put up The Last of Us Part 2 spoiler mode, and there's 100 new patrons. But I feel like some of that excitement's worn off um, in some ways. So we'll try this. As I say in the post, like there's no right answer, so it's just hard. Think some old spoiler modes might make sense to put out. Yeah, it's just a weird, tricky thing. And if we get them all back to $1, then there's not that big of a barrier. But yeah, even you like putting Elden Ring out right now, it's just like you've got to somehow make an explanation for like you'd almost have to like recut the video and put a front bumper on it or something, which I don't know if that helps either. So, but but yeah, I think extended cuts though is definitely a good way to go with the trash babies and stuff. And there'll probably be still some form of early access that we'll have to work out for Achieve It Yourself and all that. We haven't nailed down the timing for that, but we're going to be shooting Achieve It Yourself later this month. Have we considered making some episodes? Well, yeah, Achieve It Yourself will be free going forward. Season 2 is already free. Um, Fast and Loose will still be Patreon exclusive. That's one that we thought made sense at the $1 tier. Honestly, think a lot of people nowadays are more into spoiler mode stuff rather than straight up reviews. Yeah, that's true too. It's just another avenue for impressions videos, which we're trying to do more impressions videos as well with the previews and stuff, and um, with the Saints Row and Soul Hackers videos we did. Yeah, and then teasing the extended cut and the regular. Yeah, that's a fair point. We should try to work that into the format. Minigame champions. Um, I'd have to really think through whether I have a chance to bring minigame champions back. I think it's probably got one more season left in it. If we could probably do it again, um, but because I had to do everything in lockdown. But I think it would get a little weird if we tried to go to like try to make that a permanent show. I don't know if that got permanent show legs in it, but it was fun, for sure. is the short version of Trash. So that's the thing. Trash. So that's what I'm saying. Trash Babies isn't going to get shorter. Trash Babies is going to be the Trash Babies that you know right now publicly, and then when it goes to Patreon, it'll be the full uncut thing. So it'll go from like however long it goes. So, um, but yeah, we don't have any specific plans for anything right now beyond Achieve It Yourself. So obviously, some of these things will come back. Some of these ideas will come back. There'll be new ideas. But yeah, for the seasonal shows. Um, mm, mm, mm. And yeah, mini game champions and Achieve It Yourself are kind of similar, so we wouldn't run those seasons at the same time. Also, in addition to Hunting Huber, there was Prison of Love. Is another one that would be fun, but again, that's all based on the right things for Huber to want to bring in. And we've got Dawn stuff brewing as well. It's just a matter of when we're actually going to get to those. Got some Dawn content. Hunting Huber Revengeance with Huber hunting the allies. Yeah, that's fun. Oh wait, we did have a season 2 of Hunting Huber, didn't we? I'm trying to remember. I think we did turn it around at some point, but I don't remember for sure. But yeah, that's our slightly medium-sized announcement there for exclusives. I don't know if there's anything really to talk about in terms of email stuff. I'd have to look through. No, that's embargoed, so we can't talk about that. Shovel Knight Dig release trailer. Yeah, I just saw that in my inbox. So that's public. Yep, August 30th, September 23rd. Nice. Yeah, the Cowabunga collection looks so fun. I want to check it out. Right now we're just. Do we need to consider a smaller, cheaper studio move? No, that's not a. That's not a thing. Yeah, it costs. It would cost so much just to move. It would take years to get that money back. In terms of a theoretically cheaper rent, which I'm not sure would exist. So yeah. Plus we still have quite a bit of time left on that lease. So yeah, no, we don't need a smaller, cheaper studio. I think people don't realize how small the studio is. Obviously, we got those extra office rooms in there, but yeah, yeah, that's not really something we're going to be doing. Um, Lots of money to move in, um, build that stage. Mm-mm. Oh, Destroy All Humans 2 is out now. Studio itself is an optical illusion. Are we still interested in making produced content like skits and bits? I mean, that's a cheap. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about Achieve It Yourself. We're talking about Trash Babies. We just did the Punish Bets things. I mean, I was just a dolphin. How can you not? I was not a Miami Dolphin, but that's funny. Anything I can say about Easy Chillin' yet? It's not far away. I know that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we're prepared to say, but it's not far off. So we probably should be talking more about that soon. This week has definitely got thrown off. Definitely got thrown off. Dolphins should be added to my IMDb. I'm not sure about that. I don't think that meets the criteria for IMDb updates. Can I say anything more about EZA merch? It's coming. I can say that it's coming. We're working on it. We're talking to the merch people. And if you're in our Discord, Gabby's been asking people too about what kind of merch they want. It's so weird to try to read emails while doing this and in chat and like, okay, what's actually worth talking about? I don't know. I don't know that there is anything in these emails that's worth talking about. Did I say Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed is out now? Because it is. Um, Don was checking that out, but I don't know if exactly what he's going to do with it. Maybe that would be a stream. Yeah, we're still with Roost. They handle. That's where all our podcast ads come from. That's the main reason we're with Roost. Is for those podcast ads because holy crap, you want to talk about full-time job. Full-time job is sifting through people soliciting for advertisements because so many scammers and like full-on scammers that are just like not even authentic, but then also just like companies that will like try to underpay or be like, yeah, or just you just don't know half of these companies. Never heard of these people before, so yeah, they just got a whole team of people that vet this stuff, figure out the rates, get all the scheduling and stuff done. Um, so yeah, I know like some people are a little worried because like we've had this weird thing where there's like been a couple of gaps in the schedule, and looking forward, there's still some gaps coming up, but like most of our ads are like bought out for weeks and months in advance. But it's just yeah, it's just the way that all of that craziness works. Um, but yeah, they're and they're still and they send us. What's funny too is that like they'll send us a potential ad partner, and then like we'll look into it, and they've already vetted it, and then we kind of approve. And then sometimes we might not hear back. It's like we do the vetting process and then we don't hear back. But and then other times we get weird stuff in the mail to try out that backbone thing a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so it's just the ad market is kind of a weird thing, and thank goodness they handle that because I would not want to. I would not be able to. Like I said, full time job, just and have to already have the expertise behind it. Um, have you thought about having more ad partners or higher tier pages? Well, we can't really do more ad partners. Um, One thing that we potentially could add some to like frame trap or something, which is something we've gone back and forth on a couple of times, but hasn't happened yet. It could happen in the future. In terms of higher tier patrons, we've got those there. We just need the patrons. So if you want to jump into the $500 tier or the $1,000 tier, thank you. And you'll get those shout outs, and you'll get those end cards and glittery, glowing frames and all of that good stuff for the goddess tier. But yeah, there's not really anything else to do on that front because we can't run it like a counter ad. We can't on the same podcast. But obviously there are other advertisements and stuff that we could do. Mm-mm. But there's also like a limit to how much ads you want to put in the in a single show as well. Sponsored streams, yeah, we've done those here and there. It's it's something that's a little trickier because most of the people that want to sponsor streams are people that want to do game stuff, and like we're not ever gonna do a sponsored game thing. There's just too much of a conflict of interest on our parts, and I realize that plenty of people do it. It's just yeah, it's not something that we're into. And especially like yeah, we all like how already have like the awkward situation of like scoring coming up, and it's like oh, um, well, they gave us a lot of money, and we specifically told them that we would not review that game or give it an award. And now it's actually looking like a pretty good game, and we'll talk about it, and we'll stream it, but Yeah, no official review on Scorn. Um, oh, it's coming out. It's just about ready. Get delayed again. I mean, I could get delayed again, but it's coming out. I don't think they're too far off. Mm-mm-mm. But just in general, the overall ad market is apparently not great. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I mean, that's one of the reasons that you see so much garbage on websites, right? Because it's just they're trying to get everything that they can um, to work with ads and all the takeovers and all that nonsense. So legitimately, like patrons and direct payments and stuff like that is really it's the best way. It's the most sustainable way to keep things going because the ads are they're just a pain in the neck and you know they don't pay that much. The YouTube stuff is a hilarious joke. The amount of money that you get out of YouTube. Um, let's see what else is happening. But yeah, that's why you've been seeing like some layoffs and stuff at some places because those ads are not paying the bills. Why? Why? What? Sorry, I'm reading this email. I'm trying to figure out is this. I think this is a video game related thing, but I don't know. Weird. Weird. Uh, I'll read this. It doesn't look like it's embargoed, but I don't. Do you know what Free Fire is? I don't know what Free Fire is to begin with. So that's why I was like, is this a video game? I don't know. This metaverse weirdness is just throwing me off. We're pleased to announce that the Justin Bieber concert is now live in Free Fire. Players can log into Free Fire, check out in-game performance, and the new track by Justin Bieber. Uh, the global superstar is performing Beautiful Love Free Fire on Free Fire's virtual stage for the first time. Fans and players participating will also get a chance to get up close with Bieber's in-game character. Come on. Through a series of mini games. Oh, it's a mobile battle royale game. Okay. That is so funny. Play mini games with Justin Bieber's avatar. One 110 million reviews for Free Fire. Mm-mm. Tinykin is out, which we mentioned. DRD 714, thank you for the sub. This is public. Rocksmith Plus is coming out on September 6th. That's next week. Was I expecting more of a graphical boost in the Splatoon 3 premiere? I don't know if I was expecting one. I also know that um, sometimes like those graphical boosts can be you need like the side by side comparison to really yeah to really judge. A lot of people are saying like with Splatoon 2 that it looks just like the first game, and then you put them side by side and look at the details and like nope, that's a big improvement. So art style does a lot um, to communicate a game's look, and Splatoon already has a great art style. So that's the thing. You would potentially need um, a bigger change in art to be noticeable, which is why I think that like the first look at like the desert and the Splatlands was, you know, caught people's eyes because that looked different than the urban setting. Um, Even though that's really not too much of a yeah, that's probably a single player thing more than the multiplayer, you know, most of the game. Yeah, our Switch Splatoon 3 looks a lot better than either of the last two games. And that's the thing too. People that are playing Splatoon 2 right now and jumping into 3, they're the ones that are going to notice right away. Um, those of us who haven't played for a little bit aren't going to catch it quite as quickly. Commandos 3 HD Remaster is available now. I think you replayed Commandos back in the day. Even Splatsville doesn't look urban? I don't know about that. There's a lot of back alleys and stuff there. Lots of shops. Seems pretty urban to me. I really the Splatfest in particular. Well, I'm spoiling Frame Chat now, but I really thought how I really liked how alive that town feels. How's the gang holding up? Yeah, we've got Don and Heber out sick. Damiani's on vacation. The rest of us, I think, we're clear. But lots of interesting drawings in Inkopolis, yeah. The music is great. The music is catchy. Even when I was doing my shot log last night, the music got stuck in my head again. Did I go anywhere? I was out for a couple weeks last month. That's when I got COVID. Saw family for a few weeks. Family on my mom's side, and then family on my wife's side in the Midwest. Wait, what? Okay, this might be worth pulling up. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Where is that? All right, chat. Y'all remember Joe and Mac? Check this out.
Everyone 10 and up.
I just want to see the game. Come on. What? Cooler than ever. Oh, that's the truth. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's cooler than ever, but there you go. Joe and Mac are back in November, and we saw almost nothing. I don't know. I don't know. This art style's got a little bit of a... I don't know. It's got issues with visibility. It all kind of blends together. Right? Like, if I just look at it, like, it takes a minute to find my character. I don't know. I don't know about that. Cluttered, yeah.